What really happened to Park Bogum on set? The beloved actor, known for his warm smile and flawless image, was suddenly rushed to the hospital after a serious on-set injury. Rumors are spreading, fans are in shock, and the truth is far more heartbreaking than anyone expected. Is this the price of perfection in the entertainment world? Join Red Carpet Revealed as we dive deep into the incident that left millions of fans around the world in tears. It was supposed to be another high-energy day on the set of Good Boy, a drama hyped as the next big phenomenon in Korean entertainment. With its blend of comedy, adrenaline, and poignant human drama, the series had fans counting down the days until release. But no one expected that a single scene, just a few seconds of screen time, would change everything, not just for the production, but for Park Bogum himself. The morning of the incident, the call time was 6 a.m. sharp. Cast and crew gathered at a repurposed warehouse just outside of Incheon. This scene, one of the most ambitious action sequences in the entire series, was to be shot that day. Involved Park Bogum's character, Yoon Dong-ju, a retired Olympic boxer turned police officer, chasing a suspect through a burning warehouse, dodging debris, leaping over fallen structures, engaging in a hand-to-hand fight sequence. It wasn't the first time Bogum had performed his own stunts. Known for his perfectionism and strong work ethic, he had undergone months of physical training for the role. The production team, confident in his abilities, allowed him to take on more than they normally would let any actor handle. No doubles, minimal safety cables, and pyrotechnics used live for realism. But according to an anonymous crew member who spoke to Red Carpet Revealed under condition of anonymity, that day, something felt off. He wasn't his usual self. He was quiet, unusually tense. He kept repeating the choreography to himself over and over again, like he didn't trust it. The scene unfolds. The cameras rolled at 8:47 a.m. The scene started smoothly. Bogum burst through a fake wall, sprinted over a series of obstacles, and leapt down onto a metal scaffold that was meant to simulate a collapsing floor. But then it happened, something no one had anticipated. One of the rigged metal beams came loose milliseconds too early. Instead of hitting his mark, Bogum's foot landed awkwardly on a slipping platform, causing him to fall forward and twist his leg violently beneath him. Worse still, his head struck a pile of rubber props that, due to misplacement, weren't properly secured. The cameras kept rolling for several seconds. At first, the crew thought it was just method acting. Park Bogum was known to stay in character even during rehearsals. But the silence that followed, the lack of any movement, sent a chill across the set. He didn't get up. He didn't speak. That's when we knew this wasn't acting anymore. Said one lighting assistant, visibly shaken as she recalled the moment. The emergency response. Within seconds, filming halted. Medical personnel rushed in, but Bogum was unresponsive for nearly a minute. Panic swept through the set. The director, Kim Jun-il, reportedly dropped his monitor and sprinted toward the actor, yelling for everyone to clear the area. It took over 10 minutes before the ambulance arrived. During that time, Bogum briefly regained consciousness but was in visible pain. According to our sources, he kept saying one phrase repeatedly, "Did I ruin the shot?" The heartbreaking humility behind those words hit everyone on set. Even as he lay injured and dazed, primary concern was whether the take had been useful. He was stabilized and rushed to a private hospital in Seoul under tight security. News of the incident was kept under wraps for hours. After rumors began swirling online about delays in filming did the agency release a vague statement citing a minor injury during action scenes. But insiders knew better. It wasn't minor, and it wasn't just physical. The hidden pressures behind the role. The drama Good Boy wasn't just another project. For Park Bogum, it was a return to the limelight after a long hiatus and a quiet military discharge. Industry insiders say that Bogum took this role as a personal mission, to reinvent himself, to shed the flower boy image, and to prove he could carry a high-stakes, physically demanding role with grit and realism. A former stylist who worked with Bogum during early costume fittings revealed, "He told me, if I can't make this work, I don't deserve this level of fame." He put everything into this project, his body, his mind, his pride. That level of commitment came at a cost. Sources close to the production revealed that Bogum often trained alone after hours. Despite objections from safety coordinators, He requested to execute his own stunts. He even insisted on participating in choreography rehearsals with the stunt team, sometimes sustaining bruises and muscle tears that were never publicly disclosed. The production team, driven by tight deadlines and the immense anticipation surrounding the show, reportedly did not push back hard enough. There was an unspoken pressure: let Bogum do it. He wants it to be perfect. No one wanted to say no to him. An assistant director shared the agency's silent struggle as the hours passed following the accident. The Black Label faced a crisis. How do you protect one of Korea's biggest stars when the truth is too raw to reveal? An emergency internal meeting was held that same afternoon. PR crisis consultant was brought in. The initial plan was to downplay the severity of the incident, hoping the situation would resolve quietly. Medical updates were not encouraging. Though not life-threatening, Bogum's injuries included a hairline fracture to the fibula, a mild concussion, and soft tissue trauma around the right shoulder and lower back. He would need weeks, if not months, of rest and rehabilitation. And still, the most chilling detail came from a close source at the hospital. He cried. Not from pain, from disappointment. He kept apologizing to the staff for causing trouble. Global reaction: the world holds its breath. Once the agency's vague statement hit the press, it wasn't long before fan communities began to speculate. Hashtags began trending within hours. Pray for Bogum. Come back stronger Bogum. Good boy set accident. Across Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, support flooded in. Fans went as far as organizing digital prayer chains. Others posted videos crying and expressing concern. Fan cafes in Korea, Japan, Brazil, and the Philippines held live-streamed candle vigils. But with silence from Bogum's personal account and no photos released, the worry only grew. I feel like I've lost a piece of my heart. Brazilian fan wrote. He always smiles for us. Who is holding him when he cries? Another posted on Twitter. Park Bogum was admitted into a private suite at the Seoul National University Hospital under high security. Only immediate family, his manager, a small rotation of medical professionals were allowed entry. Despite efforts to maintain privacy, drones hovered near hospital windows, and tabloid reporters camped out in hopes of catching a glimpse. But the hospital remained a fortress of silence. Yet even behind closed doors, the emotional toll was beginning to take its toll. Who treated Bogum during his first week, granted anonymity due to hospital policy, shared with red carpet revealed, he barely spoke. He just stared at the ceiling. When he did speak, he always asked about the crew. Everyone okay? Did the scene have to be reshot? He wasn't worried about himself. That made it worse. Emily by his side, tears behind the curtain. Bogum's parents, known for keeping an extremely low profile, were said to have flown in from Jeddah the same afternoon of the accident. His mother, a retired school teacher, stayed by his bedside for days, reportedly crying in silence during the night. His father, formerly an airline worker, allegedly had a heated exchange with agency staff, demanding to know why his son had been allowed to perform the scene without adequate safety backups. Sources inside the agency revealed that tension rose within the Black Label as well. One junior manager resigned just days after the incident, blaming the company's excessive pressure for realism and tight schedules. In a private resignation letter that was later leaked online, in that letter, he wrote, "We forgot he was human. We treated him like a brand, not a body." The quote went viral. Good Boy, postponed, but not forgotten. Initially expected to premiere in the fall, Good Boy was indefinitely delayed. The production team released a statement citing Bogum's recovery as their top priority, and promised no compromise on safety moving forward. What they didn't reveal, but red carpet revealed confirmed, is that at least 5 major scenes were being rewritten entirely to reduce physical stress on the actor. The most dangerous stunt sequences were reassigned to trained doubles, and the script was reportedly being revised to focus more on emotional storytelling rather than high-impact physical sequences. The story is still powerful, a writer from the team explained. But now, letting the characters breathe. Letters, gifts, and a wave of global support. As word of Bogum's condition spread, fan mail began arriving at the hospital in overwhelming volumes. Hospital staff had to assign a temporary office just to hold the gifts, letters, flowers, handmade scrapbooks, care packages, some even sent symbolic items, boxing gloves inscribed with messages of hope, tiny police badges drawn in crayon by young fans. Touching gesture, the fan base in Vietnam organized a blood drive in Bogum's honor. In Brazil, a mural featuring his portrait appeared in downtown Sao Paulo overnight with the message, "We fight with you." The outpouring of love became a global movement. "This isn't just about a celebrity," said one fan club leader in Tokyo. "This is about protecting the people who protect our dreams." First words after the fall. After 2 weeks of media silence, Park Bogum released a handwritten letter on his official fan cafe. The paper was simple. The writing neat. The message was powerful. "I'm healing, not just my body, but my thoughts. And how fragile strength can be, and how strong kindness truly is. Thank you for waiting. I will return not just as an actor, as a person who sees clearer than before." The post racked up over 1.2 million views in 24 hours. Thousands of replies poured in, many saying simply, "We'll wait." A turning point for the industry. Bogum's injury did more than pause a drama. Exposed long-standing flaws in production culture, flaws many actors had endured in silence. After the incident, several agencies issued new internal safety policies, mandating the presence of safety supervisors during all high-risk scenes. A union of stunt professionals and actors began lobbying for mandatory stunt training for all leads if they wish to perform action scenes. Industry panel discussions were held on national TV, debating the line between artistic commitment and exploitation. One veteran actor, speaking anonymously, said, "We've all done it, ignored pain through injury, because we were afraid of being seen as unprofessional." Bogum's honesty gave us permission to say, enough. Quiet recovery, a changed man. Park Bogum's recovery was slow but steady. Physically, his body responded well to therapy. But emotionally, the road was more complex. Friends close to him revealed that he took up painting during his rest, often painting images of flight, open skies, and quiet rooms with one empty chair. Therapist reportedly visited him twice weekly, helping him process not just the trauma, but the enormous expectations placed on him since his debut. Never truly stopped working, one friend said. Even in silence, he was thinking about how to be better, not for fame, but for meaning. Return to the public eye. 3 months after the accident, Park Bogum made a surprise appearance, unannounced, at a fan's small art gallery opening in Daegu. He was spotted walking slowly, still wearing a soft brace on his ankle. The gallery owner was a longtime fan battling cancer, who had once written Bogum a letter saying his smile gave her the strength to fight. Bogum not only showed up but spent nearly an hour with her, doing every piece, and leaving behind a message in the guest book. "Your courage paints more than colors, it paints hope." Photos from the gallery leaked online, and soon after, the internet exploded with joy. "He's back." Trended in multiple countries, but Bogum made no official statement. He didn't need to. His presence said everything. Where we go from here. Good Boy resumed filming later that year. Safety protocols in place and a production team more mindful than ever. Park Bogum returned not just as a performer, but as a changed man. And the industry watched, some in awe, some in shame, as a new standard began to emerge. One that asked not just how real can it look, but how safe can it be to tell this story. His accident reminded everyone that behind the lights, behind the legends, are people. People with bones that break. People with spirits that bend. People whose vulnerability is not a weakness, but the very thing that makes their work resonate. Final words. Park Bogum once said in an interview, "I act because I want to give comfort to others." Ironically, it was his moment of pain, not performance, that comforted the world in return. He is no longer just the smiling prince of K-dramas. He is a symbol of resilience, of reflection, rising again, not just for the screen, but for the self. And when Good Boy finally premieres, audiences won't just see an actor in uniform. They'll see a survivor. A man who fell, and stood up not just to act again, but to live